Howdy folks, I'd like to welcome you back to Gaming Wisconsin. Today I'm going to do a different kind of video, and I'm not going to do these too often. It's not a type of video that I personally like. I never watch them, I don't super enjoy them, but I found a deal over the last week. I actually found two deals that were just so good, and these only come across maybe once a year, once every couple years for me. A deal this kind of big. I'd like to do a sort of like pickup video. I know some people are into this. Like I said, I'm not super into it. If you don't enjoy like a humble braggy type of video, probably just want to turn off now. I'll just be honest. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a story and I'm going to show you what I got. And feel free to like it or hate it, whatever. So this weekend, what was it? On Sunday, football Sunday. I was just kind of hanging out. As some of you know, I do a lot of buying and selling of old retro games. It's kind of like the only way to collect them nowadays. Because otherwise you just kind of have to spend your paycheck basically on retro stuff, which for me that's not too fun. Oh god. I have a cat infiltrating the video. But for me that's not fun. What I like to do is get new stuff that's sitting in somebody's garage or whatever. Like that's... The thrill of collecting is almost better than the thrill of playing with me. Playing games is fun and all. Collecting is kind of like my true hobby, the thing that I truly enjoy. So Sunday, I was just kind of hanging out. I had just sold some stuff. I had like $300 in my pocket. Just kind of hanging out at a gas station right after I sold something. And I happened to look at my phone, just hanging out for a second. And I boot up Facebook and I just scroll through the groups real quick to see if there's anything cool. You know, there's usually never anything there. The first thing I saw just posted like 2 minutes ago, and I only saw one picture right away, was like 8-box Super Nintendo games for $200. And some, like the lady who was selling the stuff just wrote like, yeah, selling my old video game stuff, you know, $250. Let me know if you want it. 1 second. So, you know, I saw it. I'm like, well, that's kind of neat. You know, the stuff that I saw was like, you know, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Countries. I'm like, that's pretty cool. $250? Yeah, I don't know. But then I saw, oh, there's 5 other pictures. Could just be 5 pictures of the same boxes. So I look, and it's like, immediately I notice there's a box of Sunset Riders in there. Which I'm like, oh, cat air. I'm like, okay, for $250, I see a bunch of boxes, and immediately Sunset Riders catches my eye. I look underneath, Mario RPG. I'm like, Jesus. I swipe, look at another picture, and you know, right now I'm already thinking like, I need to buy this, but you know, it's $250. I just want to make sure there's enough here really worth my time, which obviously there was. And then I flip over and I see, oh, there's a pile of NES games. Like that's cool. Nothing really caught my eye, but there's, you know, like 30 NES games or something like that. Okay, that's cool. I flipped another picture. I just see a giant pile of Super Nintendo games. I'll look at the description real quick. It says like 50-something Super Nintendo games, 20-something or 20 or 30 Nintendo games. And I just keep seeing more shit. So I'm like, fuck it. Right away, you know, I have to message her. I'm like, I want this stuff. I want to come pick it up now. You know, and knowing that there's no one else that commented under the sale post yet, that I likely had first dibs, and it being, you know, maybe the 3-minute mark at this point of the post being up. I'm like, you know, I'm going to test my luck a little bit. So the post was at $250. After she responded, yes, it's available. I go, hey, I want to come pick it up now. Would you take $200? And she kind of waited a minute before responding, and she's really quick in the conversation so far. She finally responds back, and I'm sitting here, I'm like sweating. I'm like, I have to get this deal. It's insane. I'll easily pay $250 for it. Fuck, I'll pay $400 for it. You know, I had probably $300 in my pocket, but you know, whatever. Finally, she texts back like a minute later saying, yeah, it's your lucky day. You can have it for $200, whatever. And as soon as I see that, you know, I have an okay on a deal that's something utterly insane, right? You just have to ask for the address. Like, stop everything you're doing and ask for a pickup address, and you just gotta fucking go. And that's what I did. Her address was probably like 35 minutes away. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's actually the start of the Packers game, so a lot of people, watching football and not really paying attention to Facebook. Prime time to pick up a video game lot. So I traveled up there. It was a downpour. Finally found her house. Luckily, I'm looking at my phone every now and then, like, hopefully she doesn't back out. Hopefully somebody's not offering her like $500 or something right now. Luckily she held on to everything for me, went there, picked it up. I noticed a bunch of other shit that she didn't even have in the pictures or in the description that I read, later on after I already made the deal. Picked it all up and, damn near pissed myself. And yeah, like what I found the craziest thing to be is, so when I finally showed up at this lady's house, immediately, I'm very polite when I meet people for sales. Like I'm overly polite to people. And she tells me, she's like, man, this stuff might have been worth like way more or something, because after you reach out to me, I've had several people just reach out and like scream at me and like offered me more money and said, hey, can you hold this for blah blah blah. I had one lady just like bitching me out because she said I underpriced everything and was getting ripped off, and I'm just like, you don't want to tell her, yeah, I'm ripping you off terribly. But at the same time, yeah, it's kind of true. But I'm not really the one doing the ripoff. I'm just paying you a little bit less than what you asked for. At some point, you gotta just say it's not your fault that the people didn't look up the prices beforehand. You can only pay what people want. You can't just be like, okay, so this lot's worth like $2,000. I'm just gonna pay you like $1,000 more just to even it out. Like, I don't have that kind of money. So when you find a good lot, you just have to take it on good faith. Don't ever gloat about it when you're there. Just say thank you very much. I'm glad you held it, and pay the money and take the shit and peace out. Just a little wink for people doing this thing. And that's why you got to be first, especially on a lot like this. I've even done that where, like, for example, someone had a Jaguar with a bunch of games and a couple controllers recently. Maybe it was like last winter, but they had it up for $50. And I was definitely not first in line. And he was going to sell it to some dude for $50. I'm just like, can I pay you $80 and just come to your house right now? And hey, they canceled the current order, and I went and I picked it up for $80 for probably a $250 lot. So that stuff does work, and that's why if you secure a deal, you have to get in your car and just fucking go. You have to say, hey, I'll be there in X minutes. See you there. And that's, you just have to claim your spot. You can't fuck around. You can't lollygag. You can't pick it up later and think about it. Like, if it's a deal that you need to have, you have to offer and you have to go. Because there are people like me and like other people out there that will see this utterly insane lot and just try to steal it from you. So as a game collector, that's my one solid piece of advice is grab the deal as fast as you can. That's your only protection against somebody offering more and taking your spot. And on a collection like this, you can't have that happen. So what I want to do now is just kind of show you the stuff that I got. It's a lot of stuff, so feel free to fast forward on if you want. I don't blame you. I'll get started. I'm going to go over just kind of like the normal, like, crappy stuff first. I'll just kind of build up into fun stuff. So here we go. And I guess I'll take a moment just to address the maybe clickbaity thumbnail. So I got all my prices off of price charting. And I know, obviously, as a reseller, you hardly ever get the price charting price for your shit. However, if you, like, own a game store, pretty much always easily get your price charting prices. On some of the stuff, like, especially boxed consoles, the price charting price is usually just wrong. It's usually higher than what price charting is. So, like, on those consoles, I actually like to look at recently sold eBay prices at a comparable set. So, just in case you're wondering where I got my prices from and you're like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Well, it's the price charting price. So, take it or leave it. Some people claim price charting is their absolute Bible. I like to think it's somewhere between price charting and eBay, but for the purposes of this video, I didn't look up like an average eBay price for everything because that's a lot of fucking work and I'm lazy. So we're going to start first with the NES stuff. Obviously, NES console, unfortunately didn't have a game in there. You know, that's always my favorite thing to do. Anytime I come across an NES console, you just pop it open to see what treasure lies in there. Nothing. Oh well. She said it works. I honestly haven't gotten the chance to try it out yet, so if it does, cool. If it doesn't, I'll probably just clean the pin connector. It probably works just fine. As for some of the NES stuff, pretty much everything that I got for NES, pretty damn common. Nothing too exciting there. So if you're expecting me to like pull a copy of Little Samson, yeah, I got Q*bert. Might be a little disappointing. But anyway, so we got Q*bert. We got Tetris, you know, stuff. Adventure Island, actually kind of fun, a little frustrating, whatever you want to call it. Fester's Quest, yeah, not the best. Top Gun, everyone's got 50 copies of this. RBI Baseball and Tengen, I like Tengen. I have pretty much every Tengen game, I think, other than Fantasy Zone now, so, whatever. Move on with the next batch. We got ourselves some Rolling Thunder. I don't even know if I've played this. We have Gauntlet. I actually like the Tengen version of Gauntlet. I think better than both of the other licensed versions. Gauntlet 2 sucks balls. It has absolutely no music unless my copy's fucked up, but I think it has absolutely no music. Anyway, Gauntlet on Tengen. Decent game. Spot. If you like Othello, you'll like Spot. It's actually strangely addicting and quite a solid puzzle game. Nothing wrong with that. If you like two-player games and your friend also likes puzzle games, pick up Spot. You actually probably really like it. Cobra Triangle, fun game, frustrating controls, not bad. Star Tropics, it's kind of a love or hate game. I think most people are on the love train nowadays. I used to play this a lot as a kid. To me, it's like bad Zelda, but, you know, back then, it was pretty cool. This is actually, I think, my most hated game on NES. I grew up with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I fucking hate it. The driving section pisses me off to no end. And I've never quite picked it up again. I used to own this, and like, I gave it my best effort as a child. Yeah, I didn't notice that the Rainbow games were bad back in the day. You know, maybe sometime on the channel, if you guys want to see me try to beat this fucking thing finally, I'll play it, but I'm definitely not in a rush. Mario 3! Who the hell doesn't like Mario 3? But this label's fucked up. I'll probably just end up selling it with the system. Alright, let's go with Adventure Island 2. It's solid. I don't really remember a whole lot about it. I probably need to play it again. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Somebody paid $5 for this. I guess that's kind of the going price. Game sucks. Underrated gem for me. I honestly love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES. I grew up with this game. I grew up as a huge Ninja Turtles fan. It's hard as fuck, but it's actually probably in like my top 10, top 15 games on the system. I think it's massively underrated just because it's fucking hard. Otherwise, man, the game is great. You know, solid music, good graphics. The controls, not bad. But, you know, everyone knows about the gameplay. And everyone gripes about the gameplay, so I don't know. For me, decent game, but cheap. Tetris 2? I love Tetris 1. Honestly, I haven't played much of Tetris 2, so I got nothing really to say about it. Alright, moving on to some other games. We have good old Dr. Mario. Cheap game, fun. I'm more of a Tetris guy. Karate Champ. Fuck this game. Skate or Die. Honestly, never a big fan of it. Cheap game. NES Play Action Football. You can find it in most dollar bins at most game stores. Can't own an NES without Mario Duck Hunt. You know, on to some of the other better games. Like I said, really nothing over probably like $15 in this entire NES set, but whatever. Zelda 1, I think it's my favorite NES game. I haven't found anything that I liked better in it so far, so man, like everyone loves Zelda. Like I grew up with this game. I spent summer breaks just playing the shit out of this. I'm much more of a Zelda 1 fan than I am Zelda 2. But, you know, what else can I say about it? The music is awesome. The gameplay is awesome. It's gold. I mean, that's cool. But other than that, one of my favorite games of all time. Donkey Kong Classics. It's a solid pickup. I was never a huge Donkey Kong fan other than the Donkey Kong Country games on the Super Nintendo. Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Honestly, you know, I don't think I can classify it as a hidden gem, but I think enough people hate it that I kind of have to. I just played through this earlier this year or later last year, uh, and I beat it like within a day. I actually got super addicted in this game, and I think it's way better than people give it credit for. Kirby's Adventure, another absolutely solid game. If you're looking for an easy, fun, enjoyable, like kind of platformer puzzle game, pick up Kirby's Adventure. Everyone should know about this game by now, and if you don't, buy it. It's like $15. Not bad. Zelda 2, as I've said before, I'm much more of a Zelda 1 fan, and I know a lot of people think that Zelda 2 is like the best game on NES. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, because Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is one of my favorite games, and fucking no one would say that. So, it's fine. I beat it like 2-3 years ago for the first time. Frustrating as hell, but, enjoyable. I think it's way more cryptic than Simon's Quest. So I don't know what the fuck people are talking about when they say Simon's Quest is too hard. We have the the magic of charades. A funny thing about this is a quick personal story. Somebody hit me up once selling some NES games, and they were just writing down what they were in a text message. And they wrote, like, I have a game that I can't figure out that starts with an S. And immediately I'm like, oh, that's charades. Because if you look at the top label here, I'm not sure if it's going to show up in camera, but man, old people can't read that shit. I can't even read that. I don't know what they were thinking. Lastly, but not least, for NES, Metroid. Wait, Metroid? What the fuck? Kid Icarus, my bad. I thought I had Metroid somewhere in here. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I swear I picked up Metroid as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Ugh. Anyway, Kid Icarus, it's okay. And just to finish off the rest of the NES games, I kind of forgot I got both these in the lot too. Box copy of Little Nemo Dream Master. Actually, really enjoyable game. It's pretty tough. I didn't realize a box copy goes for as much as it does, like $40 or something. But really good condition. I used to play this game a lot as a kid. Pick it up if you ever find it. It's like $5 for a loose copy, so I don't know why the box one's like $40. And a game that no one ever talks about, Puzznik. If you like puzzle games on NES, try Puzznik. It's actually really good. And finally, the Piece de Resistance for NES. I got one of these cool, like, wooden shelf gimmicks. Never had one of these before, but it actually works really well. It's not like some of the stuff, some of the cartridge slots looks like some of the plastic broke or whatever, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. At least the drawers work. It doesn't look all fucked up. It's got some fade on the top, but I think it's kind of a cool pickup. I'll find something to do with it. Alright, now for the part that really matters. That NES stuff, total, somewhere between like $200 and $300 price charting. I think it came out to like $290. But most of it's like common shit. Nothing too exciting. And NES stuff has been dropping in price for a while, so not as cool. But for Super Nintendo, this is where this lot is worth talking about. So we start off first with a piss yellow console. It's very yellow everywhere. Apparently it works. I haven't tested this one yet. These with a game, like if I sell this with Mario World, it's at least $50. The game, the controller, hookups, at least $50. Might be able to steal 60 out of it, just depending on people. One of my favorite things about this, and this was not in the actual listing pictures at all, this was just something she had, and I was very happy to see this. I've been looking for this for absolutely ever. Fuck it, I'll stop talking about it and I'll just show it. The mini in the box. You know why I've been looking for this forever? I've had several mini consoles, not a big deal. They're not like horribly expensive or anything. One of my top favorite games of all time, in my top 3, Mario RPG, and I've always wanted this stupid box because it basically has all the RPG characters on it, and then some other stuff. It's got like Peach, DK, he wasn't in there, but, DK's cool. And the Mario RPG Bowser. I mean, This box is fucking awesome, and I can finally throw it up on display now and just like stare at it every now and then. So, totally happy I got this. And as far as some of the common shitty Super Nintendo games I got, a lot of these I actually haven't played. I need to play through more Super Nintendo stuff. My favorite system, but like I probably had a selective 15 games I just played a lot, and the rest of it, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff on Super Nintendo too. I'm not really excited about. So I just had to play more of it. So we'll just go through this real quick. Copy of Mario Paint. A copy of the Bulls versus Blazers. Can't pay someone to get this off your hands. The Black Bass. I actually kind of like fishing games. It's not bad, but it's not worth anything. This Pac-Man. I'm not even a big fan of Pac-Man. I'm more of a Tapper arcade guy. Porky Pig's Haunted House? Haunted Holiday? Like I said, we're just going to power through some of this shit. Ren and Snippy, no, it's not Fire Dog, so who cares? Mortal Kombat 1, I was honestly more of a Street Fighter guy. I sucked ass at Mortal Kombat. You know, it's not my favorite thing, whatever, but other people love it. Super Star Wars, game's fun, hard as fuck. Still worth, $8. Aladdin, super enjoyable game. Pretty easy, unlimited continues. Or maybe it has limited continues, but it has easy passwords, so... buy it if you can. I think it's like a $10 game nowadays. It's probably $20 at a game store, and it's like $10 everywhere else. Getting some more, like some of our like cheaper mid-range games. Mario is missing. I was actually kind of a big fan of this game for some reason as a kid. It's not very exciting or informative. It's not very good. Gradius 3. I actually tried to spend an entire weekend beating this game on the easiest mode, and I always died to the fucking spider guys at the very end of this game. It's a really good game with a lot of bad slowdown, but if you're into shooters and you're into like Gradius on NES or Life Force, you'll like Gradius 3 to an extent. It's not bad, it's just really frustrating. Lemmings, I played this a lot on PC. I didn't really care for it much on console. Some other games, Super Adventure Island. No, it's not Super Adventure Island 2, but it's okay. Killer Instinct. Everyone loves Killer Instinct. Personally, I was never good at fighting games that had a big combo system. I used to play a lot with TJ combo in this game because his super combo is actually pretty easy to pull off. For the life of me, I can't recreate that magic nowadays. And the game with the most fucked up name in all video game history. Hey Punk, Are You Tough Enough? I believe this is a really bad fighter game. I know I tried to play this like a couple years ago, and I just remember not being very impressed. And just for some games I actually didn't have yet. I've already had all those games I just talked about. Flashback, The Quest for Identity. It'd be interesting to try this out. I've seen screenshots. It looks kind of neat. I don't know. It might be good. Cool World. If it's as bad as its NES counterpart, I'm sure it sucks. Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is neither Nosferatu or Castlevania Dracula X. It's Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it's basically sucks on every system it's been out on. Top Gear. I haven't played it. Top Gear 2. Repeat the same thing. Super Buddy. I told you, I haven't played a lot of like the cheap Super Nintendo games. I just honestly haven't. Here's a classic. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Can't go wrong. And yeah, I got 2 copies of this in this lot. Can't go wrong with that. Mario World. Every Super Nintendo has to have a Mario World to go along with it. Link to the Past. Now, this is actually probably my favorite game of all time. I can beat it in one sitting in an afternoon and not blink an eye. I love this game. 2 copies of Super Mario All-Stars. It's a great game. You should buy it if you have a Super Nintendo, and it's probably never been as low in price as it is now, so definitely pick it up if you can. This game used to go for like $30 just 3 years ago. Now it's like barely 10. It's weird how prices go. So like if anyone's ever bitching about prices of games, like now's really the time to buy. Like everything's basically as cheap as it's ever been, other than the actually rare shit. All the common stuff is like fucking dirt cheap on Super Nintendo, so it's actually a good time to collect again. Consoles you can sometimes find for $30 out in the wild, and the games like Mario and Mario All Stars are like barely $10. Pick it up now. Lastly, for the loose Super Nintendo games, Turtles in Time. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. Probably, I don't want to say it's the best beat 'em up on Super Nintendo because I don't think that's accurate. but you could definitely argue it is, and I would not ever fight you on that. And the game Genie, I don't know. I've never used one for Super, so don't really care. Now remember, all this came from one lot. You know, one lot, and so far I spent $200 in this one lot. So if you're just like, oh, you know, there's a bunch of trash games, for the most part, yes. But if you're looking at prices, definitely well past what I spent already. Like, well past it. Probably doubled already, if not way more. Anyway, on to the box games. Box copy of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest with the big fat $14 sticker on there. I haven't played this, but I heard it's a nice introductory RPG, and I'm a big RPG fan, so I'll probably play this pretty soon. Looking on the back, looks about as standard as you can get. So, cool game, but I mean, this is like, you know, $30-40 in box, so can't go wrong with that. Toy Story in box, it's fine. I don't much care for the game, but I didn't have the box, so whatever. Buster Bust Loose in box, yeah, the game's fine. Didn't I just say that? Anyway, that game's okay. I mean, it's nothing interesting, but a box copy I think was like $30 bucks. I don't know. I just looked it up. I don't like have my shit in front of me. I don't really care, but I'm just going through all the cheap stuff real quick. Jungle Books in box. This is probably maybe the cheapest in box game I have. Not to be confused with the Page Master in box. This game blows. Let's go with the Lion King in box. One of the most frustrating games in the system, in my opinion. It's cool. You know, I'm glad that I have it, but this is probably a game that I need to sit down and actually try to beat soon, because I've never been able to get past the second or third level, where it's just super frustrating with all the monkeys and shit, so I'll have to play that again pretty soon. Spin Dizzy! I didn't even know this game existed. It looks okay. It could suck or be great. I don't know, never really heard of it. Mickey Mania! I can't remember. There was always a Mickey game that I used to rent a lot as a kid. I don't think it's Mickey Mania. It might be the one on Sega, The Illusion. Whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. But I might have to play this soon. Mickey Mouse games are generally decent. Super Empire Strikes Back. This might be the only Star Wars game I haven't really played much of. And somebody totally spent $60 on this back in the day. Not sure if that was worth it. Out of This World! Not my favorite, what do they call it, rotoscope game. I'm more of a Blackthorn guy. Prince of Persia, I don't really care about that. Out of This World, I'd love to actually give this a chance. I'm not going to say it's bad, I'm not going to say it's great. I just know graphics-wise, it's kind of janky. Let's go to Block. Not a bad platformer. Pick up Block if you can. We have The Illusion of Gaia, which, honestly, I haven't played this either. But it looks fun, so I kind of want to play it. Real Monsters. I've seen clips of this. I have not actually played it. It looks fun. I want to try it out. It's kind of, from what I know, it's kind of like the Lost Vikings in a way. Kind of like a puzzly-ish platformer, but maybe more on the platformer side than the Lost Vikings is. Battle Cars. It's Battle Cars. You know, and I wanted to keep this video, like, honestly, I wanted to keep it around 10 minutes, and I realized, like, I'm looking around, and it's like, I have so much shit that there's no way, especially if I actually talk about it, but whatever. That was the thing. Beware the Ultimate Evil, Warlock. I haven't played it. It looks like some sort of a possible puzzle platformer. Next, Yoshi's Safari. I'm not sure why she had this when I bought it, because there's no Super Scope there. Otherwise, as far as Super Scope games go, this is actually probably my favorite. I used to play a lot of Super Scope in high school because I found a boxed copy, or a box Super Scope for about $20. So I bought all the Super Scope games I could find, which were all conveniently like $3 at the time, and they probably still are. Yoshi's Safari, a great game. If you're thinking about picking up a Super Scope, this is probably really the only game that you want to buy for it. So pick it up. It's fun. Let's go with Uniracers. A lot of people love this game. I honestly haven't really sat down to play it yet. For some reason, there's always a rumor that comes up that this only sold like 20,000 copies. And I want to say whoever keeps coming up with that is full of shit. Because I see this fucking game everywhere. And it's only worth like $15, you know, as a game itself. Obviously in box it's worth more. But, I don't know who started that rumor, but I hate them. And we're going to go on to Donkey Kong Country. You can't go wrong with this. One of the best platformers of all time. Donkey Kong Country 2, probably better, but you can't go wrong with Donkey Kong Country. It kind of changed the way that platformers are. It's just great. It changed graphics. I mean, it was revolutionary for the time. I still remember when this game came out, and my buddy picked it up right away, and we just sat there for hours playing it. Very hard game, but definitely worth buying. It's one of the most common games since Super Nintendo, so definitely pick it up. We're going straight to a sequel, Donkey Kong Country 2. Some people would consider this one of the best platformers of all time, especially on Super Nintendo. I think this might have sold... I mean, I looked at this not too long ago, and it was something like Mario World #1, Mario All-Stars somewhere in there, and then it was like all 3 Donkey Kong Country games. And I want to say this one might have outsold the first one. I could be wrong, though. Let's go into Donkey Kong Country 3. For some reason, this game in box like $70. Who the hell would have thought? I really enjoyed this game growing up. My buddy had this. We sat there and played it for hours. A lot of people think that this is the worst one. I don't know what side of the fence I'm on, but it's a good game. It's definitely solid, even if it's not as good as 1 or 2. But 1 and 2 are so goddamn good, it's kind of hard to measure up. This is kind of like it can't really classify as hidden gem anymore because everyone always like recommends this game on Super Nintendo. But we got Goof Troop. It's a really good 2-player puzzle game, and there's nothing really much else I can say about it. If you're looking for a good 2-player game, this is one of the best on the systems if you like any sort of puzzle whatsoever. Alright, and here is Star Fox on Super Nintendo. It is not my favorite game, but I definitely can see why people like it. And when this came out, it was pretty revolutionary. So, I mean, I'm not going to fault anyone for liking it. I personally think it's pretty fun. It's just not my favorite. I'm more of a Star Fox 64 guy, so I know it's kind of in a different genre, but I think Star Fox 64 is one of the best games, especially rail shooters, ever made. I love it. Alright, next we have Mario Kart. You know, this is a game I've been looking for the fucking box for this game for years. I'm kind of a cheap ass, so I always wait for a good deal, and I just haven't found one that's been under like $40-50 or whatever the hell it's been. Kind of spiked up there a little bit. Solid game, just glad to finally have a box for it. Now here's one that people might consider a hidden gem of sorts, Secret of Evermore. It's kind of like, it's not really in the Secret of Mana universe, but I believe it came out before Secret of Mana did. And it's more of like a futuristical... Is that even a fucking word? It's like a futuristic version of Secret of Mana. It's pretty cool. I haven't beaten this game yet, but I've definitely played bits and pieces of it. I really enjoy it, and I need to go back and beat it. And of course, another copy of Zombie Ate My Neighbors, this time with the box, and this thing is like perfect condition. So I'm glad to finally have the box for this. Here's the thing, I used to be a box collector back in the day on Super Nintendo until it started really rising in price, and this is, you know, probably 15 years ago or so. And the prices weren't as cheap as people thought. Like, you couldn't just find like box copies of Mega Man X3 for $20. Like, it was still $100 even back then. So $100 is a lot of money when you worked at fast food as a teenager, you know. Here's a game I didn't know was worth as much, and I didn't actually have this game or the box yet, but Battletoads and Battlemaniacs, and yeah, that's what I thought. So this looks kind of like the Sega remake of Battletoads, where it looks like it's just a remake of the first game, maybe with a couple fixes. All right, and here's kind of a cool hidden gem, Kendo Rage. It's not great, but it's a fun, kind of really Japanesey platformer. But this in box worth a solid $90. So box in like perfect condition, other than this stupid $24.99 label on it. Wish it was still $24.99. And here's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. It's either 2 or 3 of my favorites. Super Mario RPG. This is actually my second box copy. These go for like $120-ish. Really glad to have another copy, although I don't really need it, I guess. But it's kind of nice when you get box copies of your favorite game. You just want to kind of hold them for a second. And lastly, for the boxed Super Nintendo games I got in this one particular lot, we have Sunset Riders. This is a solid game. It's a pretty uncommon game. The game itself goes for like 50 to 70 depending on condition. Box copies, and this box it's like perfect. It goes for damn near $200. So this is what I saw first, and that's why it's like, if anything is remotely as good as this, I have to pick up this lot. Okay, here's just a couple things, fun things I got on the side, with a lot, of course, as well. A Mario RPG guide, which I already have one of these, but they still go for like $40, so that's cool. And a guide for DK 2 and 3, which I don't think I actually have either one of these, so that's actually a pretty awesome pickup. Because this game has a lot of secrets and a lot of like hidden treasures and stuff, so it's always nice to have a guide for them. Then like really lastly with this pile of stuff that I got was like a pile of pretty fucked up looking Nintendo powers and some Game Pros and maybe some other stuff, but you know, here's a copy of Nintendo Power with only, not even the back, just completely missing a cover. There's only been one issue of Nintendo Power that I've been looking for the longest time, and this was it. I'll show you just why I'm so excited about this, because I've been looking for this fucking thing at like a, you know, cheap to free price for basically ever, and I finally got it, and it has a perfect condition Mario RPG poster. Like I said, it's one of my favorite games of all times. I've been looking for this fucking poster, you know, and this isn't the whole... Somewhere else is the rest of this poster. It's like... Oh. Technical difficulties. Here's Mario's gigantic face. I've been looking for this poster forever. On eBay, I can't find it for less than $20. Everyone, as soon as this thing goes up, everyone's always bidding for it. So I was just shocked when I pulled this out, and I'm like, you know, this might be my favorite thing out of the whole lot that I got. Yeah, so that lot alone, everything that I just posted when I looked at the price charting, and the complete in box mini console, I had to look up on eBay because I trust eBay more than price charting for box consoles. But yeah, everything came out to, I think, $2,350 out of $200 I spent. So that's the only reason I have to create this video, is like, that's one of those things where I want to put like a dumbass Pat the NES punk stupid gimmick down in the corner just to be a pretentious douchebag. You know, that's just one of those lots that I felt like I had to make the video for, just to kind of show people, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I collect. And I get a lot more things, like monthly I'll get in several different lots full of stuff, but normally it's like, you buy a Nintendo 64 lot for $100 and it goes for like $200 to $250, and you just kind of nickel and dime your way into a collection. With this one, it's like you spend $200 and you immediately, you know, get 10 times worth your money out of it. So that was pretty cool. I have a lot of I have a lot of selling to do. I gotta figure out prices for this shit. I gotta figure out exactly what I'm still missing out of all this stuff. Like I said, I probably got like 12 new games. I got a ton of new boxes, and honestly, I have no idea where I'm going to put the boxes. Absolutely none, because I'm like strapped for room in this game room. But it's kind of a good problem to have. You know, I don't have any problems whatsoever with that. One of the most underrated things is always, I love when I get a lot of sleeves, like NES sleeves. And I got like 20 to 30 of them in this pickup. So like, I have like 550 NES games, and now basically all of them have a sleeve to go along with it, which is, I know it doesn't seem like much, and the sleeves, you know, are like 50 cents a pop, but I always love when that happens. And I got a lot of Super Nintendo plastic covers as well, which I don't really use them at all, but I have a whole box full of them now. Maybe I'll use them at some point, I have no clue. But I'm going to finish this video off with another pickup that I got during the week. I was kind of shocked because I looked at the Facebook Marketplace, and I just happened to see that this had been sitting up there for 5 days at $560. And I thought, that's not even a bad price, but I wonder if I could talk him down. And that is for another box copy of Earthbound. Now, this is also my top 3 favorite games of all time. We have Link to the Past, Earthbound, and Mario RPG. But you can't go wrong. I ended up talking them from $560 down to $375. Met them that night. The game has an absolutely perfect label. Yes, I did check when I was there buying it. It's perfectly authentic. And it also came with the guide in damn near perfect condition as well. So $375 on price starting. This goes for about $750 on eBay. You can't find anything less than $800 for non fucked up copy of this. So not a bad pickup. That's like an immediate gain of like $400 just for buying the damn thing. So surprised to see it up there for 5 days. I don't know how, and I hadn't seen it before the 5th day, so I don't know how they posted it up there. And I'm shocked that somebody didn't pick this up well beforehand. So just another cool pickup. I'm now officially a member of the Double Earthbound Box Club, I guess. But I've had 3 boxes for Earthbound throughout my life. One I bought brand new at Best Buy for $20, which I threw away as a kid. So I just threw away, probably $200-300 worth of a box there. I bought a copy at a local game store for $30, probably 6 or 7 years ago now, and this copy for $375. So I spent barely over $400 for 3 box copies of Earthbound now. So little humble brag. Sorry about that. But anyway, if you like this type of video at all, feel free to request me to do more of these. Otherwise, I'm not going to do them unless I get something utterly insane again. And like I said, a lot like this only comes across maybe once a year. Otherwise, like I said, most of the pickups are like I get a Sega and a bunch of games for dirt cheap, or a Super Nintendo and a bunch of games I already have for like $70 or whatever, or a 64 lot that's double of what I paid for it. Those aren't very exciting to me to be able to post a video for. So if you actually like that type of stuff, I'll do more. Otherwise, this is kind of a cool little one-off that I'll do just to kind of humble brag and show off some of the shit that I got, because I was just so goddamn happy when I got it. So other than that, if you liked it, cool. If you don't like it, but either way, thanks for watching. See you later.